Hello and welcome to It's Free IP. I'm your host Felix Chaplin, and I'm brimming with excitement now that Popeye the Sailor Man is in the public domain. Just like when Mickey Mouse entered the public domain last year, there might be some restrictions on how you can use Popeye. Popeye the Sailor Man was introduced to the Thimble Theater comic strip in 1929. By the time that Popeye was introduced, the comic had already been running for about 10 years, and it was originally about Olive Oyl, her family, and her fiancé Harold Hamgravy. Just like Olive Oyl herself, the rest of the Oyl family had oil-based pun names. If you're like me and you grew up watching the Popeye cartoons, you might be less familiar with Olive Oyl's family, and more familiar with the other side characters such as Wimpy, Bluto, Sweet Pea, and Poop Deck Pappy. Unfortunately for us in the US, these characters were made years after Popeye himself was created, so if you make any new Popeye-related works, you won't be able to have him fighting off Bluto or selling Wimpy a hamburger for which he'll gladly pay him back Tuesday. Rather, you'll have to rely on the characters that were created before Popeye. I haven't been able to find a definitive answer about this particular issue, but even though Popeye is most widely known for getting his strength from eating spinach, that particular aspect of his character wasn't introduced until 1932. It seems like the Popeye eating spinach issue might be similar to Mickey Mouse having gloves and red pants. You might be restricted in your ability to use that particular aspect of the character, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a copyright lawyer or anything. I'm just an idiot on the internet. When it comes to Popeye and his side characters, this is the one time where I envy the people who live in burn convention countries, because the creator of Popeye, E.C. Seeger, died in 1938, meaning that his works entered the public domain in 2008 in burn convention countries. So if you live in a burn convention country, you can already make your own Popeye cartoons and stuff using Bluto and Pappy and Sweet Pea and all them. But speaking of things being in the public domain for a long time now, there are plenty of Popeye cartoons that were made by Fleischer Studios and Famous Studios from the 30s to the 50s that have been in the public domain for decades. If you look at your screen right now, you'll see a list of all the public domain Popeye cartoons made by Fleischer and Famous Studios. These cartoons you can do whatever you want with. You can sell them on DVD like I do. Go to the official It's Free IP Ko-fi shop to buy some DVDs, by the way. If you happen to have some kind of movie theater auditorium, you can screen them there. If you happen to run a streaming service, you can show these public domain cartoons on there without having to pay any kind of royalties or anything to anyone. Another really interesting fact that I've heard is that Popeye was actually one of the inspirations for the creation of Superman. And Superman himself is in a similar situation to what Popeye was in as far as having cartoons that are already in the public domain even though the character himself is still copyrighted. And the cartoons were all made by Fleischer Studios as well, and Famous Studios. Anyway, that's all the time I have for today. Is there anything that I missed? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, go to Ko-fi and make a donation or buy some DVDs if you feel so inclined, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so you won't miss what comes next from It's Free IP.